Hello guys, welcome to Ramta Solutions. Today we are completing a square. To help you understand this, let us try to factorize two problems. So let me begin with 1. Factorize 1. Let's try to factorize y equals x squared plus 3x minus 4. And the second one, let's try to factorize y equals to x squared plus x plus 1. The first one, let's see if it's factorizable. Okay, it seems like it is. So this is factorizable, right? We can factorize it. Now, when I look at the second one, we cannot factorize it like the first one, right? We cannot factorize it like the first one. This therefore tells us that we must have a method that can factorize expressions like these or equations like these that are difficult to factorize in a simpler way, right? So this method is completing a square, which is a method where we add and subtract the square of half the coefficient of x. Okay, remember, we add and then subtract. So we do two things. We add the square of half the coefficient of x, and then we subtract half the coefficient, the square of half the coefficient of x, right? You will see this shortly. So what we do when we complete a square, this applies for quadratic expressions. You remember, quadratic equations have the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus p. When you have done this, your resulting expression will be, or rather your resulting equation will be looking like this: a into x plus p all squared plus q. Apologies, let me write c here, not plus. It is not p, it is c. So when you have simplified this by completing a square, your resulting expression will somehow look like this. This is more helpful when you're dealing with quadratic functions or quadratic graphs, what you call parabolas. All right, when you do your parabolas, you will sometimes need to take it from here to here. This will help you with your shifts, vertical and horizontal shifts, and turning points. It's easier to find turning points when it's in this form, right? Okay, so without any waste of time, let's try an example where we will show you how to complete a square. So, example, simplify or factorize by completing a square. It's the same thing. Factorize, or let me say simplify. It's the same thing. Is it? Okay. Factorize by completing a square. Okay, let me take it as factorize, and my font is too big. So I will say factorize by completing a square. Alright, by completing a square. If you remember well, the second example was not factorizable. So let's look at y equals x squared plus x plus 1. Number 2, we're going to factorize y equals 2x squared minus 6x minus 8. Number 3, we're going to look at y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Right? So the tip is this: when you factorize, when you complete a square, always ensure that the coefficient of, especially when you factorize by completing a square, always factor out the coefficient of x squared. Okay, always factor out the coefficient of x squared. Now let's check our solutions. So solution, we will say number 1, y equals x squared plus x plus 1. When you look at it, the coefficient of x squared is 1, so we don't have to worry about anything. Alright, we don't have to worry about anything. So we will just complete a square like expected. Remember, to complete a square, it is to add and then subtract, is to add the square of half the coefficient of x and also subtract it. Alright, so let's see, x squared plus x, now add the square of half the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x? It is 1. Subtracted now. Alright, plus 1. Now as we continue, we say x squared plus x, we simplify this. This is half of 1 is half. It's the same thing here. Plus 1. Now this part here is what we refer to as a perfect square trinomial. Okay, is what we refer to as a perfect square trinomial. Trinomial. Right. Now this perfect square trinomial could be simplified by saying I take the x here and then I take whatever that is inside this bracket, which is positive, so I write plus positive half all square. Okay, I repeat, you take the x value here and whatever that's inside the bracket, you put them in a bracket and square it. Okay, so if you were to expand this, you will get this. Alright, you will get this. If you expand this, you will get this. Okay, alright, minus this part here, minus half, 1 squared would be 1, 2 squared would be 4. Alright, now when you look at this, you have x minus half, or sorry, x plus half all square, and this looks like minus, it's not minus but plus 3 over 4. Right, when you look at it, minus 1 over 4 plus 1, it looks like it is positive 3 over 4. So we have simplified this into that form that I mentioned. Let's go back. I had said to you, when you complete a square, your resulting expression will be like this. Alright, let me show you. Here is your resulting expression. Can you see that? Now it looks like this. This is you completing a square. Now let's try the second one. The second one was y equals 2x squared minus 6x minus 8. Your common factor here, not your common factor, I said factor out coefficient of x squared, which is 2. When I factor it out, I will be left with x squared. It looks like here it can be 3x and here could be minus 4. Now I can complete a square like normal. 2, I have x squared minus 3x, remember, plus half coefficient of x squared, and then I subtract it. Alright, minus 4, and then we have 2 into x squared. I will simplify this, minus 3x plus, what do we have? This looks like minus 3 over 2 all squared, minus again minus 3 over 2 all squared, minus 4. So this is a perfect square trinomial, which I said you will take this value here and this value here. So it is x minus 3 over 2 all squared minus negative 3 square is 9, 2 squared is 4. Alright, now this, when I look at it, it will be x minus 3 over 2 all square, And this looks like it is negative 25 over 4. Right, this is negative 25 over 4. Now we multiply everything out. This is 2. When we multiply everything out, it'll be this times this, and then this times this. So this times this is when I multiply this and this, it'll be negative. So when I multiply 2 times negative 25 over 4, it'll be negative 25 over 2. As you can see, it is in that form. A into x plus p all square plus q. Can you guys see that? This is how you complete a square, factorizing or simplifying by completing a square. Okay? Alright. Now, let us then look at the final one. The final one, we had y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. I had said, always factor out the coefficient of x squared. This will be a into x squared. Because I factored it out, it must be b over a times x plus c over a. Now, as I can see here, the coefficient of x squared is 1. Therefore, I can complete a square like normal. A square bracket x squared plus b over a times x plus half times, what is the coefficient of x? B over a all square. I'm repeating it but minusing it, right? Plus c over a. Now let me simplify it. We have x squared plus b over a times x plus b over 2a all square minus b over 2a all squared plus c over a. Finally, now this is a perfect square trinomial, right? So I said perfect square trinomial, so I will take x, I will take, this is positive, so it'll be plus b over 2a, and then here I have b minus, but I have b. What is b squared? It's simply b squared. What is 2a all squared? It'll be 4a squared, and then plus c over a. Then I need to simplify this. When I simplify this, my lowest common denominator is 4a squared, which will then make this to be, I will go to the next page. It'll be a into x plus b over 2a all square plus, let's see, plus, I think it'll be 4ac, yeah, 4ac minus b squared all over 4a squared. Let me confirm. Yes, it'll be that. It'll be that. So this will be negative b squared all over 4a squared plus 4a squared. Okay, let me not do it in this way. It'll be negative b squared plus 4ac all over 4a squared. Yeah, it'll be like that, so it's fine. So here is it. It is like this. All right, now I've multiplied throughout with the a. When I multiply throughout with the a, we will have a into x plus b over 2a all square plus 4ac minus b squared all over what? All over 4a. okay, all over 4a. So remember, I wanted to make sure that I don't leave you behind when it comes to simplifying this. Okay, to simplify this, it is simply a matter of adding and subtracting your fractions rather. Okay, it's a matter of addition and subtraction of fractions. If you know how to add and subtract fractions, you won't struggle with getting this. Okay, you won't struggle with getting this. So guys, this is how you factorize or simplify by completing a square. Okay, alright guys, with that being said, it's a wrap. See you next time. Bye bye.